Hey y'all, just taking a gander. We have done a thing here. I say we, my cousin Randy, and the help of some melted down dinosaurs and diesel, some iron, and a bigger orange thing that I'm used to having, this little old tractor. We have had a busy week, and this pasture, I guess it's still a pasture, but boy, we about to put some peas in, y'all. Look at this. I mean to tell you, this is, of course, I was going to have a garden regardless with that tiller, but I never could have touched this. We're about just shy of 300 feet long rows and about 100.5 across. We got work ahead, but it'll sure be easier with having the right equipment around. I've said before, sometimes I feel like I'm cheating a little bit by using these bigger tools. I'm a purist like that, but then I talked myself down from a tree knowing that if things got bad and I had to use hand tools, I could. But while I have the good tools around, why not use them, right? So, good old soft East Texas dirt right here. And it's going to be a show place when we're done with it, Lord willing. But it's been a good week. We've got another one in the books, don't we? Here we are in February. Got a cold weekend coming up. For those getting ready to plant potatoes, this is the big crop area, but I've got a little cut that we did over there. I'll put a few Irish potatoes in, new potatoes, not Irish, but not going to plant them on February the 14th. That's kind of the line of demarcation for those that know. But I looked at the old Lone Star Planting Guide. That's a good rule book. If y'all don't have one, y'all need to check them out. And I think they've got them down there at the store, and any dealers got them. But you want to plant potatoes when the moon runs low, and it's going to run low through about the 10th, which is a little early, and then again toward the latter part of the month. So kind of got a reprieve there because the ground isn't really where I want it on this patch to plant them potatoes. So we'll be doing that a little later. Y'all know me as I started doing a little farming and raising chickens and goats. And oh, by the way, we've got a surprise down there. Not baby goats, not that. They hadn't dominoed yet, but we've got some new additions we'll talk about here in a minute. So y'all stick around for that. But this little old patch over here, now those that have followed for any length of time know I've gardened a pretty big spot down here. And that big old heavy disc on that tractor made quick work of it. But I have had some kind of time in this 30 by 50 area or so with these little old brambles, these briars. No count to them. That disc will run through a root as big as your arm. But it can't whip. And I got to thinking about that. Imagine that. These vines are a network, little bitty branches covering this ground. And every year they produce a dewberry crop. Good to eat. Hated to break them up, but there's other areas that'll grow them. But there's really fertile soil underneath. But over the years, the network of vines continue to branch out and thicken and kind of create a force field that you really can't break down, till up that good ground, and plant a bountiful harvest, more than a dessert, like a dewberry, and have substance with peas or corn. I've had to scrape this ground to get those briars up so that disc can break through and get to the good stuff. It struck me how, especially over the last week or so, realizing some things, and I think that's sometimes what our life looks like. We don't realize it. It puts on a little fruit, but over the years, different setbacks and different turns than you expected, unexpected trials that come your way just kind of create a network of brambles, and you don't even realize it. And although you're still producing a little bit of fruit, the good stuff's a little deeper. So sometimes you got to scrape back those layers and reanalyze things and get down to the good fertile ground. so that you can grow a really bountiful harvest, one you never knew you could have necessarily, right? But I'm excited for spring, and Randy and I have talked about it. Of course, I'll have to do a little bit of hand hoeing out here, but it's a lot bigger ground than I'm used to, but when you've got the right equipment, you can make quick work of it. So looking forward to wide rows, and good Lord will bless it with some rain, and we'll be in good shape, won't we? One thing I can't get done is burning this old green wood that we pulled up. I've been burning it every day for a week, or attempting to. It'll get going, and it'll die at it maybe August before we can get that done. You know, the good Lord likes a partner. I think I might be crazy saying that, but he set a lot of things into motion when he created this big old rock and flung us out in the universe, especially designed for us. And he could have made us all just robots that chose to embrace him and meditate on him, but he wanted some free will involved. And I heard a story about gardening in relation to that really drove it home for me. And it got me tickled, especially with those brambles that I'm dealing with. Old boy had a piece of property, and he was a man of faith per se, but he knew that had to come with a few works. But he took this piece of property. It was a big rock pile, and he worked diligently and got rid of all those rocks over time. And look at that one. She's been wallowing in the soot. Oh, man. Anyway, so he got rid of the rocks, and he got to working on it, and over the next year or two, he developed a beautiful garden that was talked about in the region. And every year, folks would drive from all over to come see this pretty garden that he had taken and cultivated and worked and made a showplace out of a rock pile. Well, one old boy decided he'd put him in his place one day, and he went by there and he walked the garden, and it was beautiful. And he found the gardener, and he said, "Mr. Gardener, you've got a beautiful place here. It's so good that the good Lord has blessed you to have this place and to garden it and grow it. It's due to the good Lord and his blessings that you've got this." He said, "Yeah, I believe that too. Blessed it with the sunshine and the rain, and put the code in those seeds to grow like they should." But he said, "I got to be honest with you. I'm his partner, but you should have seen this place while he had it by himself." Takes a partnership, doesn't it? So I think the good Lord calls us to not just sit on the stump and have faith and wait for something. Sometimes you got to seize it and take it when it's right in front of your face. I saw a blurb the other day, Houston Rodeo's canceled again this year, and I'm not going to get into all that, but I hate that. As a kid in high school back in the day, a long time ago, I showed animals. Never did at the Houston show, but it's a big deal for these kiddos, and they learn animal husbandry and raising a lamb and nurturing it, or whatever it is, a cow and pigs, and then they sell them at market and learn the cycle of life, and it is what it is. I mentioned that because of a cool little treat that happened upon this week. Didn't plan for it, but saw a friend of mine on Facebook, local business owner, saying they had some free goats they needed to get rid of, some show goats. Story is they had showed them here locally, and for whatever reason they took them home with them. And I think it's kiddo's first 4-H project or second or whatever. Anyway, they was either going to go to the freezer or find a home. And I messaged the lady. Of course, there was a lot of comments on Facebook responding, said, "Hey, if everything falls through, let me know." And I knew there wouldn't be no value to me other than just pets because they were fixed. And we're not going to butcher them. I don't think time's going to get that bad. But anyway, so she said, "They're yours." So I went out there and got them the other evening. And the poor young lady was upset. She thought we was taking them home to butcher them. And her mother reminded her that she's actually going to get to see them on video from here on out. And so we brought them home and threw them in the pen last night. It's kind of cool. A good friend down Georgetown way, her little granddaughter got wind of it and was going to name them, but they're already named, so we had to kind of engineer some nicknames with them. Let me show them to y'all. These, and Sissy has taken them under her wing already. So I don't know if Mackenzie is watching. Mackenzie's the original owner of them and the person that showed them. But we've got the black one there. They're both show goats, but the black one is Blaze, or we're going to call her Blazy. And the other one is Ginger, or Gingy. So they've got two young ladies that have both given them a name, the original owner, and then a special little girl that decided she wanted to name them too. So there we go. I'm mind blown at that dog over there, y'all. I can't say enough about her. I was a little nervous today letting these goats out because I'm hoping they know where home is, but they hadn't been here but a day. And they got out here wandering. I'm working out here disking the field, and that one's laying right there on watch. Old Sissy. And I guess she had an invisible line in her mind for those two new goats. Couldn't cross it. And they'd walk over there toward the house, and it's not far to the road. And they're not tame enough to come to me yet. They don't know me that well. So they're on their own out here. If they take off and run, I'm nothing but running. Well, I'm watching her, and I got a little nervous because my other goats know to stay up close. Well, those two wandered off exploring, and Sissy, without any training, just in her instinct, took off after those goats and rounded them back up here, and that's happened about 3 times today. And now those goats, no, they better stay up here. They're going to have somebody coming after them. She's got her eye on them now. Ain't that something? That is one dog, I'll tell you. I'm blessed to have her. Really gives peace of mind. But she don't like them in the chicken house either. She said the chickens go in there and the goats go over there. That beats anything I've ever seen. But love that dog. Well, it's another beautiful day here. Gonna put that old tractor up and call it an evening. Get ready for Sunday tomorrow and another week next week. Right? But she's getting them where they go. That's right. That's something else. I just stand in amazement at it. Well, let me do a quick roll call and we'll call it an evening. I don't look at the screen too much through these. I'll get distracted by the comments. I guess I'm ADD like that, but I'll show you this monster while I'm doing a roll call. I walk out here and just shake my head. That little old 17-inch tiller crying over in the corner saying there is no way I could have done that. Oh man, let me see what we got going on here. We'll call it a night. Let's get back up here. Let's see. We've got there's Mr. Roy Waltz from Houston, Texas. How are you? Let's see. She's working. We gotta look at that. She's getting after it. Get them rounded up. It's kind of a sibling rivalry. She can bark at them and chase them, but you'd be a fool if you was a predator coming up here to mess with any of these animals. She'd probably get ugly real quick, I imagine. Anyway, let me get back to it here, and I'll stand out here and watch her after I turn this off. Thanks, Randy. Looking forward to seeing you coming by at some point. Good to see you on. See who else we got. There's Miss Melinda from Oregon, Nebraska. Don't. Poor Melinda. You did catch me live. You did. There's Miss Melissa. Thank you, ma'am. Let's see who else we got. Miss Maria out California way. Guess y'all still got several hours or a couple hours of daylight. Ours is going behind them old pine trees. Miss Patricia from North Carolina. No plowing there yet, huh? 4 inches of mud. Well, y'all have seen this place wet and with nowhere for that water to hold. When we get some rain, this thing's going to be a sure enough mud pit. They may hold a monster truck rally in here before it's over with. I don't know. Sissy won't like that. I ain't coming out here when that happens. Oh, well. There's Miss Donna. How are you, ma'am? Lisa getting ready for gardening, not looking forward to cold weather coming. Yeah, it's going to be a snap for sure. Sure is. I think down to 19 for a night or two up here. Mr. Miles saying howdy. Good to see you. Blessings back to you, sir. Arlington, Texas, he's checking in. Let's see, there's Miss Aggie. Chilly damp greetings from Allen, Texas. Thank you for checking in. I'm trying to see everybody here. There's my good friend down Huntsville way. Miss Donna checking in with a wild man. No live video would be complete without that, I don't think. Let's see. See a lot of folks watching. I'll just read the comments. So, y'all, there's Miss Nancy. Yep, a lot of work. Really blessed that Randy has given the use of his tractor and all these implements, and he's got a cultivator that's going to till and row up these hills all in one step. I'm planning to put, I think it's 4 foot wide, and then we're going to put about a 4 foot, well, actually about a 5 foot furrow between the rows. So last year, of course, it's a work in progress for me. I've been around it all my life, but doing it firsthand, you learn. And I was pretty proud the first year because it was small and able to be handled. Then, let's see, when did I get here? 2018? Yeah, it wasn't that big. 2019. That was the one I've been the most proudest of. Just the way I laid it out and had plenty of space to walk and keep it weeded and tilled. But last year was good. But I tried to cram too many rows together, and they were fine for growing, but once they got big, you couldn't hardly walk down through them, and it just kind of choked itself out. But so we'll take all those lessons and apply a little bit of knowledge to it and see if we can't have something to top the 2019 garden, right? That's the goal anyway. Sounds good, right? Let's see, there's my good buddy Miss Coco out in Louisiana. Miss Aggie's checking in. Miss Lisa, how are you? Disking. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Andrew. That is right. You ADD. See, I can't even say it. There's Miss Brenda. Howdy to you. Sandra Holt's checking in. My young grandson, my first grandson, Jasper's watching up in Illinois with his Mama Felicia. Good to see y'all on. Love y'all so much. He's going to have to come down here and walk his toes in this dirt now. That's just part of the family lineage around here. That tickled me. I've got that video of Sissy. I guess it was 2019, right before Mom passed. I mean, that garden was beautiful right then. Had the marigolds going and clean rows, and I felt good enough to let her walk out here in it. And I think it was about right here. And she bent over and picked up a handful of dirt, little old thing, and crumbled it in her hands and did it again. And she has no clue that was what my granddad was known for. All the farmland he would procure, he'd stop, and he didn't want it till he smelled it. He'd pick it up and he could smell the dirt he wanted. And it was funny to see that manifest so many generations later. And she didn't even know it, but that's good stuff. All right, I've rambled on enough. Right, but good things happening all around, right, if we choose to look for them. And my eyes are wide open, so that's good. Y'all have a blessed evening, and think about those brambles. Maybe you got comfortable with them little dewberries, and might have something down a little deeper that produce a bigger crop if you'd peel back the layers and maybe let life disc you up a little bit. Be all right. Y'all have a good evening. Be the light.